Are you planning for the inevitable? Secure your peace of mind now. Secure your peace of mind for you and your loved ones, and learn what choices are available to you now. Okay, and so in this video, we're going to be comparing final expense insurance versus prepaid burial plans to help you understand which option is best for you. Okay, so stay tuned so that you can make an informed decision about your future and your loved ones. Okay, and so if you are new to me, to the channel, or to any of my content in social media land, my name is Katrice-The, and I am a licensed health and life insurance broker, and I am the principal agent of the K. Daniels Insurance Agency, where the mission is to close the insurance coverage gap for African Americans. Now, here on this channel, I teach African Americans how to use health insurance to reduce their out-of-pocket health care costs, and how to use life insurance to leave a peace of mind and wealth to their loved ones after they are gone. Okay, all right, and so we're talking about final expense insurance versus prepaid burial insurance. Okay, well, I'm sorry, plans, because it's not burial insurance, it's a prepaid burial plan. Okay, now I didn't know that prepaid burial plans still existed. Okay, I had to do some research. I do remember when I was a little girl, they used to have, I used to remember seeing like commercials for prepaid burial plans, where they would be talking about, pay for your funeral in advance and all of that. I do remember that, but then I didn't see commercials anymore. But I also don't watch a lot of TV, so that could be why. But I stopped seeing the commercials. But prepaid burial plans do exist now. A lot of older people, a lot of seniors I know have prepaid burial plans, and they may have insurance as well, but a lot of them have prepaid burial plans to pay for the actual funeral services. Okay, and they may have already paid for their plot as well. Okay, but yes, prepaid burial plans too do exist. And so are they a good, would that be a viable investment for your final expenses? Okay, now planning for end-of-life expenses is a crucial step to ensure that your loved ones are not left with financial burdens. Okay, and so let's talk about the prepaid burial plans first, since I led with that. Okay, so as I said, a prepaid burial plan involves paying in advance for your funeral services and burial costs. Okay, now the goal of this is to lock in current prices for future services, reducing the financial burden on your family. Now, I do have a whole video that goes more in depth on burial plans, so if that is something that you are wanting more information about, I will link it in the description of this video. Okay, and so the way it works is that you make your payments directly to a funeral home or service provider, and then this can either be done through a lump sum payment or through a payment plan. And so what you're basically doing is securing today's prices for future services. Okay, and so now one of the significant benefits of this is cost control. Okay, and so by locking in your prices now, you avoid future inflation, and it also ensures that all your arrangements are pre-made, which can be a huge relief for your family. Okay, my mama didn't have, when my mama died, she didn't have like everything planned out to a T, but she had a lot of stuff already planned for what she wanted, which did make it a lot easier for us in doing the funeral and everything. Okay, now a drawback on the downside of a prepaid burial plan is that these plans are usually limited to specific providers, so there's not a whole lot of flexibility there. And And if that funeral home goes out of business, there is a risk of losing the funds, okay? And plus, it may not be as flexible, as it may only cover specific services, and there may be some services that you might want included that the plan will not cover, and so you will have to pay out of pocket for those services, okay? Okay, now when it comes to final expense insurance, which is also known as either burial insurance, guaranteed issue insurance, or funeral insurance, is a type of life insurance policy that is specifically designed to cover funeral costs and other end-of-life expenses, okay? And the primary goal is to ensure that your family isn't burdened down with these costs, okay? And so the way final expense works is you will pay your monthly premiums, and then upon your death, whoever the designated beneficiary is receives the policy payout. Now, this money will be used to cover funeral expenses, medical bills, or other debts, okay? And so now some pros to having final expense insurance is flexibility, okay? You can use whatever funeral home you want to use. The money can also be used to pay medical bills or for any other end-of-life expenses. You're not tied to just, you're not obligated to only use the money for funeral expenses. They can be used for anything, okay? Also, it's often easier to qualify for final expense insurance versus traditional whole life insurance, okay? Now, some of the disadvantages can be that the premiums can increase over time depending upon when you purchase the policy, okay? Now, there is also a possibility that the payout might not cover all of the expenses if the policy amount is too low, okay? So you want to make sure that when you are looking to purchase final expense insurance, that you are figuring out, okay, exactly how much do I need to pay? I mean, how much do I need to spend, or do I want to spend on my funeral? And then, how much, you also want to provide some cushion for if, because costs are going to go up, right? And if you buy the policy today and say you don't die for another 30 years, you're 30 now, say you die in a car accident at 60, okay, you want to try to have some room for inflation because costs are, going to go up, okay? All right, and so some key differences between final expense and burial, prepaid burial plans, is that the first difference is that final expense insurance is more flexible, since the payout can be used for various expenses and not just funeral costs. That may be a more viable option for you. Now, if you are somebody who you say you live in a small town and that funeral home has been there for years and it's not going nowhere, and you buy it through them, and that may be viable for you, okay? Prepaid, now when it comes to cost control, prepaid burial plans will lock in prices at today's rates, okay? So this does protect against inflation, okay? And when it comes to final expense insurance, the payout might not keep pace with the rising costs. So that's why I was saying earlier, you may have to budget, and budget in for inflation. So, say you only want to spend $10,000 or less on your funeral, okay? But you don't plan on dying for another 30 plus years. So you may want to get a policy for $30,000, add an extra $20,000 just to make sure that you have that cushion to pay for your funeral, for it to be how you want it to be, and a little, and then it'll be some left over to give to beneficiaries or whatever, or to donate. I know some people, they donate to like their favorite charities and stuff from their insurance proceeds. So you can do something like that. Okay. Now, also another difference is beneficiary control. Okay. So with final expense insurance, your beneficiaries are the ones who decide how to use the funds, okay, which again gives more flexibility. Okay, you have to be very careful who you assign your beneficiary to, and it must be somebody that that is going to carry out your wishes. Okay, prepaid burial plans restrict the use to the predefined funeral services and predefined funeral home. Okay. Now, differences between qualification and payments. Final expense insurance will often require a health screening, meaning they will ask you health questions. Okay, there is no medical exam, but many of the final insurance companies now are guaranteed issue. Okay, prepaid burial plans, they offer payment plans, or you can pay up front, and they don't consider your health factors at all. So if somebody who you've tried to apply for not health insurance, you tried to apply for life insurance and you keep getting denied, you've even applied for a final expense and you've gotten denied, you can get you a prepaid burial plan, and your health has nothing to do with anything. Okay. All right. And so now it's like, okay, which option would be best for me? Okay. Which option would work best in my situation? Okay. And so you want to consider your financial situation first of all. Okay. Because with both of these, you must continue to make your payments. With the prepaid burial plan, one thing is say it's, for your whole plan to be paid off, it's like $5,000. And then once you pay the $5,000, that's it. It's paid for, you're done, right? With final expense insurance, you got to keep paying until you die. Okay. Now they do have some other options that you can do with the cash value, where it will pay off, some different riders and things that you can add to that for an additional cost. But as far as it being paid off, quicker, it would be a prepaid burial plan. Okay. Now you also want to consult with your family to ensure that your decision aligns with their expectations and needs. Okay, because what you want and desire, your family may be expecting something different. So you all want to be on the same page, because once you're gone, you have to make sure that your family knows what you want, because you may have not wanted a big funeral, and your family may have wanted to throw a parade and do a whole lot more for you than you might have just wanted a simple, small funeral. Okay, so you want to have the conversation with your family and make sure that everybody is on the same wavelength. Okay, because that conversation will provide a peace of mind for everybody involved. Okay. And then you want to seek professional advice. Now you can go online and purchase, either the prepaid burial plan or the final expense insurance. But you want to work with a professional so that they can help you to really determine exactly what you need. Because yes, you can go on and purchase, but you online and purchase, but you may not purchase enough insurance to cover everything. okay? Because you may not quite understand how to figure out how to cover your needs, how to figure out what your needs are, okay? And so speaking to a financial advisor or an insurance broker such as myself can help you to make a better informed decision tailored to your specific circumstances, okay? All right, and so in this video, we have explored the key differences between final expense insurance and prepaid burial plans, looking at both their flexibility, the cost control, and how they work. Both options have their pros and cons, and the best choice depends on your personal needs, okay? And so planning for end-of-life expenses can definitely be challenging, but it is a crucial step to ensure a peace of mind for you and your loved ones, okay? And so you want to take your time to consider your options and make the best decision for you and your future, okay? Now, this isn't something that, again, you want to rush into. Yes, you want to get insured because, again, no man knows the day or the hour when their eyes may close on this earth, right? However, you don't want to just rush into something just to say you have something, okay? You want to explore your options and see what is going to work for you, your family, and your budget, okay? So if you are looking to purchase some life insurance, you're wanting to get covered, and you live in the states of Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, or Texas, then you can, the link will be in the description of this video, book an insurance consultation with me. It's on Google Meet. We'll sit down and we will go over all of your needs and look at your budget, and then we will see what is the best viable option for you, okay? And if you want health insurance and you're in Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, North Carolina, Tennessee, or Texas, you can book a consultation with me as well, okay? So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. My intention was that you found this video useful, helpful, or insightful, okay? And so if that is the case, please do give it a thumbs up and share it out so that others can find value in this as well, okay? Now, if you like this type of content and you are wanting to become a member of the community, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to join. We would love to have you join the community, okay? Alrighty, and so that's all for this video. I will see you in the next video, okay? And remember that together we can close the coverage gap, the insurance coverage gap for African Americans. Have a good one.